Amru Chachamim, Mamzer Talmud Chacham Kodem L'Kohen Gadol Ha'Ma'aretz. Technically, the more covenant has to be given to a Talmud Chacham, even if his yichus is not so pure. A Mamzer Talmud Chacham comes before a Kohen Gadol Ha'Ma'aretz. Shenemar Yikarei Mipinim, Yikarei Kohen Gadol Shenichnas L'Chai V'Lifnim. Talmud Torah shapes a person. Talmud Torah makes a person, different in who he is. And then the Rambam adds, Ein L'cha Mitzvah B'chol HaMitzvahs Kulan. Hishkula Keneged Talmud Torah, Ela Talmud Torah Keneged Kol Mitzvahs Kulan. There is no other mitzvah. You might say that, there are 7 mitzvahs that are not, like no other mitzvahs. How does that work? So there are ideas like that. Tzitzis is connected to Torah Kula, and Stuck is connected to Torah Kula, and Talmud Torah is connected to how can they all be connected to Torah Kula if there are 7 of them? That's a good kasha. Good kasha. Whichever one you are focusing on, that one has an element that is connected to Torah Kula, that value. And therefore, the Rambam says, there's no mitzvah like Talmud Torah. Talmud maybe l'dei ma'isa, but Talmud Torah is unique even amongst those unique mitzvahs that the learning brings you to ma'isa, meaning learning brings you to all other mitzvahs. Lefichach, Talmud kodem l'ma'isa b'chol makom. And that's why Talmud comes before ma'isa b'chol makom. Talmud is maybe l'dei ma'isa. And the Rambam adds, ma'isa l'fanav asiyas mitzvah v'Talmud Torah. If I have a choice of doing 2 things, learning Torah, doing a mitzvah, obviously we have to spend our life doing mitzvahs. But if the mitzvah can be done by someone else, and I could do the Torah, so that if there are 2 brothers, one of them is learning, one of them is watching a movie, right? And the father says, could somebody get me a cup of water? So the one watching a movie should get the cup of water. So the one that is learning doesn't have to get up. If there's only one brother and he's learning, so then he has to get the cup of water. The Rambam says, if the mitzvah can be done by others, then he shouldn't stop learning. It's not like because you don't want to do the mitzvah, you're involved in the mitzvah. Osik b'mitzvah. But if there's no one else, yasa mitzvah v'yachzor l'torasa. Then he should go do the mitzvah and then go back. Yachzor l'torasa. Meaning, again, this is a separate topic that we'll have a shir on at some point, I hope. The principle of osik b'mitzvah generally does not apply to Talmud Torah. Right? If I'm involved in a mitzvah usually, I don't have to go do the other mitzvah, even if I'll never get to do the other mitzvah. I'm involved in a mitzvah. But when it comes to Talmud Torah, if that mitzvah will be lost and nobody else can do it, then I have to stop learning. And that's the simple interpretation of the sugya, that the principle of osik mitzvah does not apply to Talmud Torah. You have to stop learning. Why that is a problem. But if the mitzvah can be done by someone else, one should keep learning, because Talmud Torah is connected all the mitzvahs. You might be familiar with the Vilna Gaon, the Gra, in the Shnos Elio. This is commentary on Teya. If you never saw it, homework today. Sometime today, I have to pick up an old-fashioned Mishnayos. Old-fashioned means in the world pre-Kahati. It was a world pre-Kahati. Kahati was a banker in the late 70s, early 80s, that came out with a commentary, a pirush of 2 Mishnayos every day in the newspaper. Every day put out 2 Mishnayos. Until he finished. He was unbelievable. And now, we live in a post-Kahati world. But in a pre-Kahati world, one actually looked at the classic Mefarshim on Mishnah. The Rav Bar Tanura, the Tosfos Yantif, the Feretz Yisrael, right? Rabbi Kiva Eger on the side, classic Mefarshim on the side. So in the back of the classic Mishnayos, is the commentary of the Gra. And on Zeraim, it's called Shnos Elio, and on Mishnayos. Shnos Elio. So on the first Mishnah, Peah, that we say every morning, Elu Dvarim, it says Talmud Torah Keneged Kulam. So on that Mishnah, the Gra says, why is Talmud Torah Keneged Kulam? The Gra explains, every second that one learns Torah is a mitzvah. It's a separate mitzvah. Every daf, every line is another mitzvah. So if I spend 3 hours going to visit somebody and spending half an hour there and coming back and looking for parking, it's all one big mitzvah, which is a good mitzvah, but it's one. And if I learn Torah for half an hour, I get thousands of mitzvahs. Thousands of mitzvahs, then one mitzvah. But yes, of course, I have to do all the mitzvahs if it can't be done by others. Last night, I went to a Corona wedding. So, it was unique and different. Rav Dani's daughter got married last night. So some of you know Rav Dani Marcus from my block and from Yeshivat Reshit. But so you went there, and it's a different kind of situation. But you go there, you fulfill a mitzvah. And it's a nice thing to do, and you do it because a friend of yours gets married, and again, it's you do what is needed, but then you go back and you learn Torah afterwards because mitzvahs that you can't do al yedei acherim, you do yourself. But mitzvah that can be done al yedei acherim, right? Talmud Torah, because every second, every millisecond of Talmud Torah is another mitzvah. That's the Gra Talmud Torah Keneged Kula. That is beautiful. If you never saw it, please look at it inside. It's a beautiful depiction of every second of learning. Every daf, every line is another mitzvah, and that's the Gra Talmud Torah Keneged Kula. Okay, that takes us through Halacha Daled. Halacha is just one line. We can just do it, and then we'll continue. First question we're going to be asked is about Talmud Torah. Even if you're not in the mood, learn Torah. Rambam has the girsa of Yatzok Bat Torah. In the Gemara, we have Yatzok Bat Torah of a mitzvot, afilu shelo lishma. The Rambam has the girsa of Bat Torah. Or maybe not the girsa, maybe he formulates it like that. That's a big, interesting topic, why it's dafka Torah and not Torah mitzvot. That's the Rambam here about the first question that's going to be asked is about Talmud Torah, which, might, remind you, we're not going to get to it now, but there's a question, but what do you mean the first question? Remember the Gemara in Shabbos, all the questions we're going to be asked? What's the first question we're going to be asked? Shabbos Lamed Aleph. What's the first question? First question is, were you honest in business? And the second question is Kavati Tzma Torah. What the Rambam talking about? It's quoting a Gemara Sanhedrin, but how do you put those two Gemaras together? Right, what's going to be the first question? You have to know what the answer to. You don't want to get out on question one. Question one, we want to make sure we do well. Right, I've told that story in the past with Eli Lapian. That was a Wednesday night story. Eli Lapian, right? He always was very mocked to jump out of bed in the morning, even if he was very old. Very old. He jumped out of bed. He said, Rabbi, what are you jumping? No, just relax. He says, Achar Me'av Esrim is going to be a Shulchan Aruch, and there's going to be a Malach sitting on the other side. So let's go see how Elia did. Let's open up. Siman Aleph, Sif Aleph. I don't want to get out on the first question. The first question is Gaber Kari. Wake up like a lion. Okay, maybe the 20th question, but the first Kasha. First question, I don't want to get out on. So that's why he was very mocked, even when he got more told. Okay. Anyway, let's get back to our sugya. And we are finishing up one sugya, going into the connected sugya. Let's switch gears. Masra Mashakatsa Bator. In the Mishnah, Kuf Chavam base. That's how we got into this. Making a Tnai on what it says in the Torah. You can't make a Tnai against what it says in the Torah. Doesn't work. Good. So then we went into why it doesn't work fine, but why is the Maisa Kayim? You should say, just throw the whole thing out. Why is the Maisa Kayim and the Tanai is Batal? That's our kasha that we're dealing with. So we had Tosfos and Ksubis gave his answer based on Tanai Milsa Achrisi. Yesterday we saw the Gemara in Mitzechet Ksubis, and we had different chatim based on Rav Elchanan and based on the Rav, all the different chatim of Tosfos. That was all number one. And then along the way, we saw the Ran and Adarim and others. Number two, at the end of the shiur yesterday, we mentioned the second approach of the Rishonim, that's Rabbeinu Tam. Rabbeinu Tam, that if it's against the Torah, we compare it to an impossible Tanai. Right? Mishpatei Atzrom, one of the rules of Tanaim is that it has to be possible. If a Tanai is impossible, it's meaningless. Right? If somebody makes a Tanai, by the way, for a neder too, a neder is meaningless if it's impossible. Somebody makes a neder to fast for a week, so the neder is not chal. So is it possible? It's meaningless. That's what the Gemara said in Gittin, as we saw. Go up to the heavens, even though there are hot air balloons, and even though there are airplanes, as we discussed. That doesn't make a difference. That's not a kiyum atnai. So says Rabbeinu Tam that making a tnai against what it says in the Torah, eino ela kemaflig bidvarim. Maflig bidvarim. It's like exaggeration. It's not 100% clear if again, I might not have emphasized this yesterday, whether it's mamish, we assume that he knows this, and therefore, just like when a person says that to do something impossible doesn't work, so to here, halachically it doesn't work because it's impossible. Halachically impossible and physically impossible, Rabbi Rosner says, go together. But obviously, the other Rishonim would say not. So is it about is it about realities? Halachic reality and physical reality go together? Or is it even deeper, like, and this borders on hashkafa? A Jew wouldn't want to. A Jew doesn't want to go against what it says in the Torah. And therefore, deep down, every Jew wants to do the right thing. So if a Jew says something against what it says in the Torah, we disregard it. We disregard it. It's not so much about the mechanism. I'm not 100% sure which one Rabbi Rosner means. It's quoted in various ways. Again, is it that how the mechanism, if it's against the Torah, it's an impossible tonight? Or is it even deeper? It's about the kavanat hagavra. It's about the person thinking. And every Jew wants to do the right thing. And therefore, every Jew wants to do the right thing. So then it relates to the Rambam that we mentioned in Hilchos Gerushin of, if a person doesn't want to give a get that he's supposed to, then you can beat him up until he says Rotzani, and that's his real Ratzon. So maybe here too, maybe that's what Rabbi Rosner means. Every Jew's Ratzon is to do the right thing. And if somebody makes a tzai against what it says in the Torah, so then he must not be telling the truth. He must not mean it. Because we know he wants to do the right thing. So I'm not sure which formulation Rabbi Rosner says, because he just says, Eino ella kemaflig bidvarim. You treat it like that, or he's really exaggerating and doesn't mean it. So not 100% clear. Or second, we'll see there can be enough gemina between those two. But again, that's the Rabbi Rosner svara, connecting it to Amanasha Ta'ali Lurakia. Okay. That was all Chazar. Now let's get to the third and final approach of the Ramban. Question is, what does the Ramban mean? Hopefully some of you were able to see this Ramban, where the Ramban gives his own shot on our daf, right here. Right, the Ramban on our daf. Ramban says, V'li nireh. Some of you have the Ramban, V'li nireh. Says the Ramban. Let's read it, and then you'll tell me what you think he's saying. What's the reason? The kol masne al mashekasav b'Torah. It's no batel. Mishum. The kol tnai. The ka'akar leila maisa lav tnahi. Let's translate the words. I'm going to try to explain what it means. Any tnai that uproots the action is not a tnai. If you say a tnai and you say the words marriage, you say marriage kicks in. Shaharei, does anybody have the Ramban in front of them? Because in my Ramban I have an old version. I'm wondering if anybody corrects the next line. Ramban says, Shematzu makom lachul, shaharei. Anybody have the next word? Some of you are looking into it. Does it say F-shar or E-F-shar?
F-shar.
We have F-shar.
I have F-shar too, but it seems like it should be E-F-shar. I don't know. E-F-shar is Kayim Tnai. I'm not sure. Well, let's have to read it again and again. I have F-shar too. Sorry, F-shar is Kayim Tnai. Shelo yite lo asher k'tus va'ona. It's impossible that the Tnai won't be fulfilled. You can't have a half a marriage. And it's not like other Tanaim. What's the Ramban driving at? What's the Ramban driving at here? This is not mentioned
Rabbi,
by
I don't think it has to say E-F-shar. I think it still works. It's the idea that it's just like the Tosfos in Ksubos. It's just like the attempted answer of Tosfos and Ksubos when he says that Mechila, that by wife Mechila would work. and she tries the
second,
mechila,
and then
it doesn't work.
Given she'amra amanash she'en l'chalai, hari ha'mekudeshes li, cholo ha'kiddushin, she'matzu makom achol, shari efshar l'skayim atnai, shelo yitin l'shak tusvona. It's
Right.
possible that it would be chal, that it would work.
It would work, but then the fact that it's not something that
You're
Torah
saying
stands
you add in
by.
the mechila line. But
It's-
given
it's-
shechalu lo chalu lachatzoin, she'inishal lachatzoin. He's trying to get it to work, but it doesn't work. Efshar l'skayim atnai, shelo yitin l'shak tusvona. That's what he's trying to do. Okay, maybe. Even shechalu lo chalu chatzon. This is trying to be chal lo chalu lachatzon. What do you think he's saying, though? What's the Ramban saying here?
I think he's saying
What's the
exactly
Ramban
like,
saying about akiras hamaisa?
I don't see why he's saying any different than the Tosfos we had in Ksubos.
Tosfos and Ksubis in that one passing line seem to say that his das was just about getting her to be mochel. And here she was mochel. It's just that halacha came inside and said, no, it doesn't work. This line of the Ramban emphasizing, I'll read the Lashon again, that one line. Called Tnai de ka'akar le'lamaisa lav tnahu. What does that mean? Called Tnai de ka'akar le'lamaisa lav tnahu. Seems this is how, the title?
If the Tanai is going to be oker what the action is, like the Tanai of in lachalai shektes va'ona is directly contradictory to the line of Haret Mukadeshesli, then that wouldn't be a Tanai.
Oh, I think exactly what you're driving at. General Tnoim are separate factors. I'll make it tonight. I want to sell you this as long as you jump on the jump to 10 jumping jacks. Jumping jacks have nothing to do with the Kenyan. I'm going to divorce you. I'll manas that you give me $100. $100 and Gerushin have nothing to do with each other. But Tnai can't work if a Tnai is exactly the opposite and undermining what you're trying to do. That's what it doesn't work. I'll sell this to you. I'm manas that I don't sell it to you. Let's say you say that. Doesn't make sense. You can't make a Tnai like that. I'll be married to you. I'm manas that I'm not married to you. What does that mean? You can't make a Tnai which goes against the Maisa, that is totally opposite and undermining exactly what you're trying to do. Says the Ramban, I'll marry, I'm not going to rain tomorrow. That's okay. Rain doesn't have to do with the marriage. I'm that I'm not obligated in the marriage obligations to you. That's exactly like doing a Maisa, making it Tnai that you don't do the Maisa. That Tnai can't work. You can't have a Tnai that is exactly the opposite and undermining what you're trying to accomplish. You're making a Tnai to get married. I'm manas that you're not married. Part of the definition of marriage in halacha is sherksus va'ona. The definition has obligations and privileges and all about the relationship. So I think that's what the Ramban means, and that's how the Mefarshim explained. The call tonight, the ka'akar le'lamaisa la tno. You can't have a Tnai like that. Again, it fits in to the first approach, and that Tnai is milchas and milsachrisi. Tnai has to be an added factor. It can't be an added factor if it undermines the event itself. It's an internal contradiction. And maybe that's why it doesn't work. I don't know what other you might say. All right. I'll give you this. I'm not that I don't give you it. Just think, you can't have opposites. The Tzai can't be opposite of the Maisa. And that's what this is considered. It's a Rakiras HaMaisa, from within. And that's the problem here. So again, according to the Ramban, it's not so much about going against the Torah. according to this. According to Rabbeinu Tam, it's about going against the Torah. According to Ramban, it really has to do with the Torah. It has to do with definitions, right? Even as I do with the Torah. I'll sell this to you. I'm going to ask that I don't sell it to you. I would also say that it's meaningless. You can't make a t'nai like that. And that wouldn't work. It's not a mitzvah. It's not a Torah thing. Right? It's an opposite thing.
Rabbi, but then why does Ramban use that as definition of mashkas of Torah? That should just be a hilchos tinaim.
That's the formulation of us. That's an example. The Gemara, maybe it's so obvious the other way, right? To say, I'll sell this to you, I don't sell it to you. You don't even need hilchos tinaim for that. It's obvious. The chiddush of mashkas of Torah is that this is also like that, right? This is like making a t'nai. The halachic reality determines that what you're trying to do is exactly anti-definitional what you're trying to do. And we can understand the other types, but that's the chiddush of this line. It's anti-definitional to what you're trying to do. That's three ideas: Tosfos, Rabbeinu Tam, and the Ramban. Three different ideas as to why do we say that if you messed up in your t'nai, the t'nai is batel, and the maisa is kaya. And meanwhile, as I take Eli's question, let's go back to that Gemara, that Tosfos and Ksubis, because there's a nafkamina relating to these approaches. Yeah, Eli.
Rabbi, according to the Ramban, are there any other examples where the Tanai would undermine a sale?
I think most of them are exactly, let's say all the cases, or other cases of Torah besides marriage. Let's say I sell you something, almanas, that you don't have any claims of una'ah, ripping you off. So also there, we say it doesn't work. Because the reality of the laws of ona'ah are part and parcel of the kinyan. And therefore, if you make a t'nai almanas that it's not, it's not going to work. Another example, almanas, it's not like an impossible t'nai, like almanas that I fly to the moon. That's not internal akira samaisa. That's an impossibility. The point is that it's undermining from within. Exactly opposite. Kinyan, by definition, is not ripping people off. So if you make a t'nai that you want to do something with ripping people off, there's no kinyan. Here you're doing something that you don't want. You want this to be the definition of marriage. That's not what marriage is. And therefore, it's not going to work. It's undermining of the maisa itself. Right? That's what I think he means by akira samaisa. But l'may nafkamina. The Tosfos, in the continuation, going back to Nun Vav and Aleph. Lady, you with me? You have Ksubis there too? You got a whole shas there, I'm sure. Excellent. Basra Ksubis, we are all over. The Gemara in Ksubis Nun Vav. Tosfos has to give you this answer. He has a kasha. From the Gemara at the end of Menachos. If we learn this maybe next time, or David Cohn will call us. Let's go. Here we go. Menachos. Right, I told you that story yesterday, yes? Are you looking at me like I'm from Mars? Okay. So I'm a Harim Nazir, Al-Menash, Agalech Beis Chonyo. Somebody says, I'm a Nazir, Al-Menas, and I bring my karbanos in Beis Chonyo. What's Beis Chonyo? It was a pretend Beis HaMikdash. They built another Beis HaMikdash in Mitzrayim. There's a machlokes. Tanam, whether it was built for Avodah Zarah or not. Some say it was built for Avodah Zarah. Some say no, it was just people didn't want to schlep to the Beis HaMikdash. Maybe there was some type of internal feud between the Kohen Gadol, whatever. It was L'Shem Shemayim. Machlokas. Let's say it was L'Shem Shemayim. Let's say there's a Nazir that says, I'm a Nazir, I'm an Asta, I can bring my karbanos in Beis Chanya. Yigalech Beis HaMikdash. Says the Mishnah there at the end of Menachos. He's a Nazir and has to bring the karbanos in the Beis HaMikdash. He's a Nazir. The Imgilach Beis Chanyo yatsa. But if you did bring your karbanos in Beis Chanyo in Mitzrayim, your yotze, your naziris. Or you could bring karbanos in Beis Chanyo. What are you talking about? How are you allowed to do that? It's not what a Nazir is allowed to do. Umafarish b'Gemara, Tosfos explains that the Gemara there explains, Hayru Taima, Ahai Gavra, Tsiurei Nafshik Machavein. That person really didn't want to accept complete Naziris. He just wanted to abstain from certain pleasures. Tsiurei Nafshik Machavein. I don't want to drink wine. I don't want to become tamei mace. Amar. So he said, this is how we interpret his words. Im Amar Sagi, Im Sagi Beis Chanyo. If I could be a Nazir and bring my karbanos in Beis Chanyo, Arachna, Irish, Hilkach, and Ratzal Galech, and Mikash Chalav Naziris. I'm sorry. Amar Im Sagi Beis Chanyo, Tarachna, Irish, Hilkach, and Ratzal Galech, and Mikash Chalav Naziris. If Eno Yachol, or Eno Rotzel L'Troach, if he ends up bringing his karbanos to the base of English, we say, okay, he was a Nazir. But if he doesn't, if he ends up bringing his karbanos to the base Chanya, we interpret his words as he didn't really want to be a Nazir. He didn't want to really be a Nazir. So asks Tosfos, he says, I want to be a Nazir, I'm a Nas that I can bring my karbanos in Beis Chanya. Why isn't that an example of Masal Mashikasa Batorah? What are we reinterpreting his words for? He wants to be a Nazir Almanas. Beis Chanya. That's not Karbanos. What do we say? What do we say? He's not a Nazir. What does Tosfos answer? Omeri. The law Amrina, this is the Yesod. The law Amrina. Masna mashkasa batorah no batel elahechan shemiskavein lakral shakasa batorah. We only say ma'isa kayim and no batel where he knew it was wrong, where he knew it was going against what it says in the Torah. Mazid. He knew what marriage is in Judaism, and he said, "Amanas, not that. Tough luck." Then we say, you can't do that. Abel Hassam, but the guy, the Nazir, Savaru, Sheish Mitzvah, Beis Chanyo, Kmo Beis Hamikdash. He didn't know. He thought a Nazir could bring his karbanos there too. The Ein Miskavein La'akar. He didn't have kavanah to be oker. Iston Lamelech, B'Yitzhak Begam Bnei Ruvain. So therefore, the Tnai can still be chal, and therefore, if he has to go to the Beis Hamikdash, he was never accepted to be a Nazir. Wow. So what's the halacha? So that is the Tosfos Yesod. You only say Ma'isa Kaim and Tanal Batel if it was amazing. But if it was Shogeg, then what? If it was Shogeg, we would say the Tnai works, and therefore, if the Tnai is not fulfilled, the Ma'isa would fall away also. Don't force the Ma'isa to be Kaya. Tnai Batel, Ma'isa Kaim is only if he was Mazid, which is ironic. If he knows he's doing something wrong, then we force him. Tough luck. The Ma'isa is Kaya. If he doesn't know, then he has more power. If he doesn't know that he's being oker, so then we say the Ma'isa is Batel too. What's the svara for that line in Tosfos? What's the svara? I didn't give it to you, but there's a Mishnah Lamelech. Mishnah Lamelech said there's really a machlokes, there's Bali Tosfos and Nazir that say otherwise. What's the svara? What's the svara? Let me just get my Pnei Yoshua. 1 second. What's the svara for that? Says the Pnei Yoshua, it depends on our approaches. Somebody want to think about it? Depends on our approaches. Right? If we say, let's go through them backwards. If we say like the Ramban, Tanai is thrown out if it goes against what you're trying to do. And does that fit with what Tosfos says or not? According to approach number 3, we should say that it doesn't make a difference. Mezid and Shogeg shouldn't make a difference. You're making a Tanai that's undermining the Maisa. Doesn't matter why you're doing it. Doesn't matter why you do it. It shouldn't make a difference. The Maisa should be kind. The Tanai is Batel. What difference should it make? And also approach number 1. The first idea of Tosfos. The whole idea of Tanai is a Chiddush. So we're only going to allow it to work if you follow the rules. Okay, here you didn't follow the rules. You did it by accident. You still didn't follow the rules. So according to approach number 1, we should also say it doesn't make a difference. The Maisa should still be Kayam. According to approach number 2, Rabbeinu Tam, that can make a difference. It's a little difficult because Tosfos here doesn't quote Rabbeinu Tam. Okay. He's quoting, and they're both from the Re, both lines. So it's a little difficult. The Yeshua points that out. But the Yeshua says, according to Rabbeinu Tam, it works. Because what's Rabbeinu Tam's whole thing? Well, we assume that every Jew's going to want to do the right thing deep down, so he must be exaggerating. Here he doesn't know it's wrong. Here he doesn't know it's wrong. So if he doesn't know it's wrong, then we can say, okay, he must really mean it. So the Maisa is going to be Batel. The Maisa is going to be Batel. The Pnei Yeshua makes this Ha'ara. This is in, we mentioned before, the Pnei Yeshua, most of the Sefer is answering Tosfos' Kashas on Rashi. Remember the Hakdama, we mentioned it. There was a fire. He was lying under a burning log, and he made a neder to Hashem. If you help me out, if you save me, I will dedicate my life to answering Tosfos' Kashas on Rashi. Then he was pulled out right away, and that's why we have the Pnei Yeshua. 90% of the Pnei Yeshua is answering Tosfos' Kashas on Rashi. 10% is just explaining Tosfos. So this is in the 10%. This is in the 10%. So Tosfos says, so the Pnei Yeshua says, after quoting this line, Mezid versus Shogeg, Ukisvar azu mavor lahedya, Bahai Mishnah Gufa, Harinaz Amanashe Yeshosa Yain, Bechulu. And then he says, Mashma, the Matha Mashakasa Batora, Hainam should come maflig bidvarim. Him came Pshita, the Hecha Deino Miskavin Lakar, Loshaya Chaitaima. Right? This reason doesn't apply. This reason doesn't apply if he doesn't know he's doing anything wrong. Again, it doesn't point it out. It's just a little difficult. And that it's the Re who's giving both answers, both lines in our Tosfos, in Ksubis. And we've explained that Svara for Chilik of Shogeg and Mezid works best with Rabbeinu Tam, not with the approach number 1. So I have to work that out. But again, that's the in Svara, the Nafkamino would go in that direction. So I would go that Rabbeinu Tam would hold that there's a difference, but 1 and 3, L'chora wouldn't say that there is any difference. Okay. Ad kan sugya of masala mashachas b'Torah. But I think there's a complementary sugya, and we'll see in the last line of this next sugya. Still working on it. Now it connects directly. We've been discussing about making a Tnai against what it says in the Torah. How about making a Tnai with what it says in the Torah? What does that mean? Tnai on mitzvahs. You do a mitzvah al Tnai. You do a mitzvah al Tnai. So there is, I just thought of it now. I'm sorry I didn't give it to you. Does the Gemara talk about this anywhere in Shas? For your travels in Shas, did you come up with any mitzvahs al Tanai? So I don't think there's any Beferish Gemara about this, but I just thought of one. Not exactly. Some of you might be familiar with this. It's not really a Tanai. Yaakov, yeah, what are you going to say?
The Gemara at the beginning of Rosh Hashanah about Daryavish and Tzedakah.
Now what?
The Gemara at the beginning of Rosh Hashanah about Daryavish and giving tzedakah. About
Okay, so
how
maybe,
his son.
maybe this is on Daf Daled. Maybe this is the same Gemara. I'm reading it from Tzachim. Tzachim. Omer selazul tzedakah b'shvil sheyichya b'ni. Somebody says, I'm giving tzedakah so that my son lives. O she'eya ben olam haba. Or that I'll be in olam haba. I raise it tzaddik gamur. Tzaddik gamur. So that's an example of a mitzvah al tnai. It's not the same kind of tnai that we're talking about. It's kind of like that the Gemara says the only exception to the rule where you're allowed to test God. Right? Amanas sheyichya b'ni, or that I'll be in olam haba. That's not the same kind of tnai we're going to talk about. That is, I guess, in the Achronim that talk about the sugi, they don't talk about that Gemara. That's different. Amanas that's just stam shalol lishma. That's not really a tnai. Right? You're giving the tzedakah. Amanas Hashem heals your son. But if Hashem doesn't heal your son, then you're not giving the tzedakah. You're giving the tzedakah. It's kind of like a tefillah. It's more of a tefillah and a hope than a tnai. The point is, by tzedakah, you're allowed to do it. Right? Anybody ever get a mishaberach? Right? A mishaberach. You get it because through the mitzvah that you did of getting an aliyah, you're hoping that Hashem gives a bracha. Right? Somebody, but again, that is an example of something close. The mamish mitzvah al tnai is not really in the Gemara, but there are a number of examples given in the Rishonim and in the Achronim. I gave you 2 Rishonim and 2 Achronim. 2 Rishonim and 2 Achronim. First, the Abu Draham. I gave you, I think Ellie put out on the chat, one sheet with a couple of marmakomos, because I think some of these probably would be a little bit more challenging to find. 1 second. Sorry, I had to tell my son to go to his book. Okay, says the Abu Draham. Says the Abu Draham. Dov, what was that about? Hey, Aleph, what was that about? That message?
There's a whole thing in about in Menachos by Carbon Toto, where you can sort of trying to specify if this one is this and the bread should be for that, which it's not exactly this, but it's close potentially.
Okay, thank you. I will look it up. Okay, I don't remember about Menachos. Have you just been chazering Menachos since yesterday's story, Dov?
No.
How does that come to you in your travel through Shots?
Because it was a complicated sugya and it took a lot of time.
Wow, amazing. Thank you. So I'll look it up for tomorrow. Okay. As Hashem says the Abu Draham. Abu Draham quoted in the Beis Yosef in Hilchos Sfiras HaOmer. Sfiras HaOmer. What happens? I was once in a shul like this. They were davening early Shabbos, and I was in the shul and I was in shock because they counted Sfira with a bracha at the end of Ma'ariv. And I went over to the rabbi afterwards. I'm like, wow, not even nighttime yet. We paskin, even if you made early Shabbos, and then you remembered that you didn't count last night, you're allowed to count last night and continue counting that night. That's what we paskin. Even though you already made Shabbos. So he says, look, the rabbi told me correctly, these people are all going to forget. They're not going to count later. And half of them aren't going to count tomorrow, and then they're going to blow it. So you know what? You could do this. I say, do you do it? Because I'm the rabbi, I don't have a choice. Says, but he has to make a bracha out loud. The Shulchan Aruch discusses if you're in that kind of shul, you know what you could do? You can count without a bracha. Al Tnai. I was listening to a shiur yesterday, and somebody said, in our day and age, it's so hard. Shouldn't say that, it's not so hard. It's much harder not to get through the sphera. Because we have these, even if you're a girl, we daven Meir every night with a bracha, with a minyan. But again, you have alarms, you have WhatsApp things, you have this, you have reminders. You know what gets you? Early Shabbos Friday night. That's what gets people. You don't count, then the whole day the next day. How many people get out on Shabbos? Right? Okay. Let's say the Abu Dram says you can make it tonight. Count without a bracha early. And say, if I remember later, what I'm saying now is meaningless. I'm going to count later with a bracha. But if I forget, this is it. Count without a bracha. Neymar Amar, you say to yourself, if I remember tonight in my house, I'll make a bracha then. I didn't make a bracha levatala. And if I forget, I counted. Wow. You can do a mitzvah tonight. He's saying the words of Smira. And he's saying, it's only supposed to be a mitzvah if I forget. And if I remember, what I'm saying now should be meaningless. Shouldn't be the mitzvah. Is that a chiddush? Are you allowed to do a mitzvah al tonight? No, is that a chiddush? Yeah, Eli?
Wouldn't that be a problem of mentioning the night before you actually officially count?
So that is a chumrah. That is a chumrah that we try not to do that. Maybe this is totally on. Let me give it to you. Let me just get it. 1 second. This is quoted in Shulchan Aruch, Kaf Peites. My parents, when I got smicha, in smicha got me a set of Shulchan Aruch. They're like bigger than me. Got these like you can't even fit the sefer in the. Every time you take out a Shulchan Aruch, it's my exercise for the day. But you should do real exercise. I'm not really saying that. Try to run a couple times a week. You have to tell your talmidim it's not the only exercise. Carrying svarim. Anyway, so in Taf Peites, the Shulchan Aruch says, in this case, where is it? Taf Peites. If it's early, we just find the siman. Here it is. Gimel. Moni moin below bracha. Yizkar b'layla yivarech yispar. If he remembers later, then he can count later. Says the Magen Avram. This is according to the opinion mitzvos tzrichos kavana. Machlokas tanoim amoraim rishonim. Nearly dazul shitase. The pasuk b'simin samach siftal the mitzvos tzrichos kavana. Impin yichavim b'libom ezgar b'layla. Inani machavim l'seis. The kach mashma miloshen arama. That's the Magen Avram. This issue, whether you can make a tnai on a mitzvah, is dependent on the machlokas mitzvah tzrichas kavana or not. If you hold mitzvahs ain't tzrichas kavana, meaning you don't need to have kavana to do the mitzvah, it's automatic. You can't make a tnai on a mitzvah. That's the Magen Avram. That's interesting. That limits the whole sugya. Shulchan Aruch is l'shitaso. But we seem to have other examples. To say that they're all because the mitzvah ain't tzrichas kavana, we're machmir l'maisa. We're machmir l'maisa, by Doraisas, mitzvah tzrichas kavana, by Dorabanan, ain't tzrichas kavana. That's his suggestion. If you look in the Rashba, I give you another rishon. What happens if you don't remember if you davened? You don't remember if you davened. When does that ever come up? You don't remember if you davened. I don't know, maybe Ma'ariv? I guess that's the one. Right? Somebody has no recollection whether they daven Ma'ariv. So what do? If the next tefillah, so you say Tushman Esrei is fine. What if you're still in the Zman? Still in the Zman. So let me give you a better example. You don't know if you said the right thing or not. Probably more common. Parenthetically, I think I mentioned in the past, Soloveitchik couldn't understand all of those Shulchan Aruchs. If you don't know if you said Amelech HaKadosh, this is what you do. If you don't know if you said Tin Kalamatar, what are you talking about? You don't remember what you did. You just said it 3 minutes ago. You don't remember what you said to somebody 3 minutes ago? You're talking to them. What, you have short-term memory loss? You just said it. Could you not know what you just said? So Soloveitchik couldn't understand it. The Shulchan Aruch wrote those halachas, so he could understand it. That he could fathom that, our words. There's a line in the Yerushalmi, such an amazing line in the Maseches Brachos. Yerushalmi in Brachos says that one of the Amoraim, one of the Amoraim said, I forgot the exact lashon. I have to look it up again. It was something like, thank God for my knees that they know to bend at modim. If my body wouldn't know by itself what to do, I wouldn't. Even that Moram was saying, sometimes they're on autopilot. And, things happen. I'll try to get the exact lashon for tomorrow. But either way, so the Rashba says in Maseches Brachos, you don't know if you davened, daven al Tnai. Daven al Tnai. It's really explaining the Gemara. The Gemara discusses what to do. The Gemara says in Brachos Chaf Aleph, you don't know if you said Kriya Shema or not, you have to say Kriya Shema again. Araisa. You don't know if you davened or not, you don't have to daven again. Tefillah is Rabbanan, the Gemara says. Rabbi Yochanan says, you know what? Halavai you daven all day. So you can daven again. The Rashba adds in, al Tnai. You should daven al Tnai. He has that in. Mispalel umasne. Imlo nispalo zula chavaso. If I davened already, this should be a nedava, and if I didn't daven, this should be chova. It's Tnai. Gemara doesn't say that. That's the Rashba. Again, you could do a mitzvah al Tnai. You could determine the definition of your mitzvah based on your actions. There's a two Rishonim. The Abu Dram says it by Sfiras HaOmer, and the Rashba says it by Tefillah. You also have it in the yeah.
How's that not a bracha levatala?
Now you're allowed to daven a tefillas nedava if it's a suffix.
Then why do we say suffix brachos lekula if you could just say al Tanai that it's going to be this brachos and nedava?
Again, if you're davening it as a chova, then some Rishonim say you're violating al tosef. So you don't want to do it as a chova.
Right. So every time you have a suffix brachos, you say I'm making another bracha al Tanai. It's nedava. Why do we ever say that you don't make?
No, but by a bracha, you can't make a shahakol as an adava, right? You can't make a asher yatzar as an adava. Tefillah could be an adava. You can have a birchas adava. You can have a tefillas adava. So only because here tefillah is the bracha, that's why you say it here. Good. But probably the most famous. We'll make it famous right now. The most famous example of a mitzvah al Tnai is known as the Tnai of the Avnei Nezer. The Tnai of the Avnei Nezer. Right? We'll skip. We might not get to it today, Rabbi Eger. The Avnei Nezer, the Sachat Shava Rebbe, and since he wrote this 110 years ago, 120 years ago, all the Achronim discuss it. That's the Tnai of the Avnei Nezer. In Avnei Nezer Shin Pei Aleph, I gave it to you on that sheet. There's the Avnei Nezer. Here's the case. You're at the Seder. And it's almost chatzos. And you are nowhere near making chatzos. What do you do? The three choices. Two of them are not choices. Three choices. One is, the balabasta is about to serve the entire meal, and you say, I learned in yeshiva. I know we can't eat anything. Let's eat matzah and done. Sorry, we can't eat any of your food. That's not a good idea. That's not a good idea. Okay, that choice is out. What's the other choice? The other choice is just to keep going regular. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about chatzos. So that is something that many poskim say to do. Try to get chatzos, but if you missed it, you missed it. What can you do? Just go straight. Didn't make chatzos, okay. Says the Avnei Nezer, oh, I have a chap. I have an einfall, as it's called. What does he say? Right before chatzos, make kazayis of matzah and make it tnai. What's the tnai? Let me backtrack a second. There's a machlokas tanoim, Rabbi Akiva, and Elazar ben Azariah, whether the ending time for Korban Pesach or matzah is chatzos or the morning, Amod HaShachar. So you make it tonight. Because we don't know who the halacha is like, the Sveika Dedina. So you make it tonight. If the halacha is like Rabbi Akiva, right? If the halacha is like Rabbi Akiva, so that what I'm doing now is meaningless. And then 2 hours later, when he finishes his meal, he's going to eat another kazayis of matzah, and that's going to be his real afikomen. But if the halacha is like it was in Azariah, this is my afikomen. Then you wait 5 minutes until chatzos comes, because his assumption is the mitzvah, or I should say the halacha, of having tam matzah b'fiv is only during the time that you can eat matzah. So you only have to have it until chatzos. So you eat a kazayis of matzah and say, this is the mitzvah, the halacha is like it was in Azariah. You wait 5 minutes until chatzos. You continue your meal. You enjoy. You go 2 hours. Eat another kazayis of matzah at the end. And say, if the halacha is like Yakiva, this is my kazayis of afikomen. And that's your tonight. And that's how you save the embarrassing anybody. You can have your matzah and eat more matzah too. Have everything. That's the Tnai of the Avnei Nezer. That's what he gave. I gave it to you on this page. Yochel kazayis matzah al Tnai. Im halacha korban ben Azariah. If the shem afikomen. If like ben Azariah, then this first afikomen. This first afikomen. Yam tnan achar chatzos. Then you wait till after chatzos. Yochel sudaso. And you eat the rest of your meal. Yachar kach yochel shenis afikomen. Yotze miman shach. And your yotze is sure. Im halacha kolaz ben Azariah ad chatzos. Rishon. Like ben Azariah. Achar chatzos. Halacha like Rabbi Akiva. And you yotze with the second afikomen. That is the chiddush of the Avnei Nezer. There are many, many assumptions of that Avnei Nezer. I'm not going to go into it, but I want you to think about it now. We'll talk about it next time. How many assumptions is the Avnei Nezer making? 1, 2, 3. What are the assumptions of that suggestion? But for our purposes, he's making it tonight about a mitzvah. Maybe we'll just finish with the last one, and I'll leave you the question. Rabbi Eger on Shulchan Aruch. Simon Membav says, you don't know, not so much in Eretz Yisrael. You don't know if you're going to make Zman Kriya Shema. So what do? You say Kriya Shema in the morning, which is an inferior Kriya Shema because you're not doing it with the brachas. Your Yotze, make it tonight. If my shul's going to get up to Kriya Shema in time, then what I'm saying now should just be learning Torah. Just be Talmud Torah. And the later Kriya Shema should be my Kriya Shema. If I'm going to miss it, then this is my mitzvah. Ani es daiti. Yorish atzibur yavru zman Kriya Shema. Yichavin b'derech Tnai. Im yavru yeyetza b'zeh. Im lo yavru lo yeyetza b'zeh. Like the Beis Yosef says by Sfiras HaOmer. Quotes the Abu Drum. That's what he cross-references. So we have 2 Rishonim and 2 Achronim. The Abu Drum by Sfiras HaOmer. Rashba by Tefillah. The Avnei Nezer, Zachachaver, died at about 19-something, right? Father of the Shemi Shmuel, the Avnei Nezer, about Afikomen, and Rabbi Akiva Eger, who lived 100 years before the Avnei Nezer, Akiva Eger by Kriya Shema. Is there a chiddush that you can make a tnai on a mitzvah? That's what we have to think about. Is there a reason we would say you cannot make a tnai on a mitzvah? Why would you be able to? Why wouldn't you be able to? We've been speaking about making a Tnai against what it says in the Torah. This is about doing what the Torah says, but doing it al Tnai. Is there any problem with that? That's what we're going to talk about Hashem in the next year. I gave you a very lumdish Oneg Yontif on that sheet. See if you could get through it. Oneg Yontif is one of the greats. He was a Rav in Bialystok. Died in 1879. He was one of the big Gaonim of the time with the Beis Halevi, I think, and others. But it's a safer learned in the yeshivas. Shuvas Oneg Yontif. Again, you can make a Shechianu if you've never done one. And so we'll do the Oneg Yontif, and we'll talk about it.